What is going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures, and in today's episode, something pretty cool, something is very, very unique to a Triton. I haven't seen it done yet, and honestly haven't actually seen much of this on four drives anyway on YouTube. So another conversation I had with the guys at Super Cheap, and we sort of come to the discussion that the standard seats in the Triton are pretty damn average. So if you've ever sat in them, think of a church pew and think of sitting there for about 12 hours because they are stiff, they're going to support your legs. If you're really tall, I'm 6'2", they sort of sit up. You don't really sit in them, so you sort of sit on them. Problem I have with that is when you're traveling, when you're going long distance, it can actually cause you a bit of drama. You can get backaches, you can obviously get leg cramps, all that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to come to is a better solution to a problem that probably shouldn't have existed in the first place if Mitsubishi decided to put some half-decent seats in these cars. But anyway, we came to the conclusion of getting some bucket seats made up, and pretty much went full custom on this one as well. So there's no real rails, there's no adapter kits, there's no universal kits for Tritons to get seats made up and that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of fluffing around and a little bit of custom work, and again, a fair bit of fabrication. But yeah, I have now got two racing bucket seats in the car. They actually are extremely comfortable, and for long distance and that kind of stuff, they are absolutely fantastic. And I do set a little bit higher, which is good as well, so I've got a bit of better visibility in the car. The only thing I have lost is that the actual seat goes up and down, but we actually set it up to be the same height, obviously, to work with myself. And yeah, I can't praise these seats enough. They are probably not the best thing I've done to the Triton, but they're pretty much up there. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a video on what they look like, all that kind of cool stuff, and yeah, show you what they're all about. So let's get into it. So these are the new seats. So they fit quite nicely, as you can see under here. I've got all this support under here, which is awesome. They hold you in really tight, and nothing else has actually been affected at all. The seat belt and that kind of stuff works fine. That just clicks into, it actually use the factory mount, which is pretty damn cool. And everything is just such a much comfier seat to be in. So I went on a recent trip for a fair few Ks, for a fair few kilometres on the road, and getting out of this before, I was just like, oh my days. It was just so uncomfortable, and you've obviously put bigger suspension, that kind of stuff on. Obviously, if it lets a few more bumps and that kind of stuff come through the vehicle, so it does get a little bit uncomfortable, I suppose, in these cars, especially when you start modifying and put things into them. But yeah, the actual seat, they hold you underneath here. They've got great bolstering on the sides, and they are just such a comfortable seat to be in. They seem to be really hard wearing. Where we went last weekend, there was a fair bit of mud and that kind of thing, and they just brush off, they clean really easily, and it's just, yeah, just such a comfy seat to be on. So the actual seat is an Auto Technica seat, so if you're playing at home and you want to get this made up. Talking about fabrication, so this is not a, pull out your old seat, put in a new seat, and you're going to be ready to rock and roll. This is a fully custom bracket system. Lots of measuring, lots of welding, that kind of thing set up. So if you're trying to tackle this at home, go see a fabricator or something like that you know of, and just see how they're going to go about charging you to set this up. But lucky I've got a pretty good mate who's a fabricator, from Nick's Mechanical. He done all the brackets and that kind of thing for it, and it came out fantastic. I've still got heaps of headroom. The seat and the steering wheel sits nice, and you're tucked right in, and you can see everything. And as I said, you get a fair bit more visual going through the windscreen, that kind of thing. And just the whole console setup is just so much better. I've still got heaps of room under here. I don't hit my knees on the steering wheel or anything like that. The clutch pedal is obviously perfect, so everything just really works, and we put a lot of thought into this whole thing. Even the standard slide and that kind of thing still works as it normally would. So yeah, we've done a really good job, and I'm super happy with the actual end result of these seats being in the car. So I can't really say much about it. There are seats. So yeah, I mean, I think this is I don't think it's a first for forward driving, but it's first for I've seen on YouTube at doing a full seat conversion in a car. and there was a running joke between myself and my brother about what I've done to this vehicle. So just off the top of my head, I can think of probably not a section of this car I haven't modified yet. It's a fairly modified car now. So in the sense of the tyres aren't standard, the rims aren't standard, the seats aren't standard, the suspension's not standard, the rear suspension's got airbags in it now, there's a snorkel, there's a custom airbox, there's a custom intake system, there's a dual battery setup, there's a full custom tray, there's EDS scans gauges, there's new head units, there's full new speakers, yeah, there's a roof rack, there's lights, there's different headlights, there's a bull bar. So yeah, I just sort of went through it the other day in my head, and I was just like, the amount of stuff that's done to this car, it's not even really a Triton anymore. It's it's a bit of a hybrid or a bit of a Frankenstein, but I'm not quite finished with it yet. There's still some few things I've got to do with it. I've got to do the tune on that side of things, and probably put a bit more power through it. And I've got to do a 90,000k service. That video is going to come up, so that's a real big one. You've got to do timing belts, that kind of stuff. So there's that video coming up as well. I still got to do the video showing how I made the guards fit with the bigger tyres, because millions of people have been asking me about how I fitted the 33s into these cars, so I've got to do a video about that. And yeah, I absolutely love this car, so it's never actually let me down. The only thing I just said has gone wrong with it, which is in my update video, was the clutch, which is probably a little bit my fault. I did ride a little bit on it in the beach. I should have put it into 4 low instead of being 4 high, so I probably rode it a little bit too much, and I probably burned that out. But now it's got the heavy duty XZ clutch in there. I've never had a drama with that, and I've never thrown a code. It's been a blessing, this car. It's never had a single drama. So I'll leave it there. But that is another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. If you got any questions regarding the seats, just hit us a comment, flick us a message on Instagram. Just be patient, because Instagram, now it's got about 2,000 followers or something on it. So there is a lot of people that message me on there now. So if I don't get to you straight away, just be patient. I do try to reply to everybody. Well, I do reply to everyone, actually. So, but I might just leave it there. So that's been another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures, and I hope you like the seats. I absolutely love them. As you can see, I'm pretty stoked about it. And yeah, bigger and better things to come for the car, but this is where I'm at now. So I'll see you in the next video. I might even see you in the tracks and trails, but if not, I'll see you later. See ya.